Since I got my Google Pixel Fold a couple of weeks back ago now, I've had a lot of positive things to say about it, but as you probably saw in my review, there are some downsides to this device. In this video, I'm going to lean into that, and I typically don't do like negative content. I typically don't do videos that are like the worst things about this. But with the Pixel Fold, I think that I need to lean into some of the negatives a little bit just to sort of better inform people, because I do like the device so much, but I don't want to sort of paint the picture that there's absolutely no faults with the device. There's nothing about it that bothers me. So don't just watch this video. Watch the full review, watch the other content as well where I talk about the good things about it, because I don't want to, again, paint a too negative of a picture either. Oh, he hates this device, because that's not the case either. I just want to give sort of both sides to the story, and hopefully this video will kind of help show people some of the more annoying things about it that you might see and think, wow, that's a deal breaker for me, and it might help inform your decision to some degree. Now, there are going to be some things in this video that I'm not going to cover that you may expect to see. For instance, you're going to expect me more than likely to talk about the thermals, the heat that the device generates. However, I'm not really going to spend any time on that other than what you're hearing right now, because for me, it doesn't bother me at all. It's never caused any problem other than you're holding the device and it feels a little warm. It's never done anything to deteriorate my experience. There's never been a moment where it has slowed down or where it has, crashed or something's not run well. It just feels a little warm in your hand. So like, that's not a problem to me. If that's a little warmth in your hand is a big problem to you, fair enough. That can be on your list of least favorite things about the Pixel Fold, but it's not going to make it onto mine. With all that being said, let's switch camera angles and get into the list. Before anyone asks, this is the Aramid fiber case from Pitaka? Pitaka? There's no way to possibly have an answer to this question. I'm currently reviewing this case. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts just yet, but that is the case. You can find it on Amazon. Maybe I'll drop a link in the description. Every time I make a video like this, I get tons of questions. What case are you using? So I'm going to go ahead and mitigate that by just saying it straight out of the gate. Okay, with all that being said, all that out of the way, let's get into my list. So the first one is something I may or may not be able to show you. I'm going to try my best. Maybe this will come through in a video. Anytime I'm outside in my car or wherever it might be, I'm going to be wearing a pair of sunglasses. My eyes are very sensitive to bright lights, so I have to always have sunglasses on. I have a pair of prescription sunglasses because my vision is terrible. And with this device, more so than with the Z Fold, sunglasses just don't play all that well, in particular on the tablet screen. If you look through my sunglasses here, can you see that there's this sort of like rainbowing effect that is going on? Hopefully that's really coming through and is visible, but when I'm wearing my sunglasses in my car and I'm looking at that screen, that rainbowing effect is a little bit distracting, it's a little bit annoying, and I really wish that it didn't do it. In fact, it's making it so that a lot of the time in my car, rather than being opened up, I'm putting it in my little car dock, my phone holder, in phone mode, which is annoying because I'm leaving so much screen real estate on the table that would potentially be useful in the car, because you might want to do something like have YouTube Music open with Google Maps or something like that, and because of that weird rainbowing effect, it's not something that I'm doing a whole lot of. Very annoying. Something else that I must admit that I do miss a little bit from my Z Fold is a proper desktop mode. When it comes to the Samsung devices, you plug this thing into a monitor, or in fact, you can do this wirelessly. You're going to get Samsung DeX with these Pixel devices. As of currently, you get nothing. In fact, plugging it in USB-C to HDMI or to a hub or something like that, it doesn't actually do anything at all. There is no video out. So that is definitely an annoying thing and a letdown coming from Samsung devices. So this next one really, really drives me crazy. If I go to my cover display, let's take a look at my layout, and notice that the taskbar down here has 5 objects. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is important because no matter what sort of layout you go with in your settings here, your app grid, that is the most that you can have down there. And then when you open this device up into the tablet layout, you will see that we have now gained a 6th one. You would think normally, well, it's a bigger screen, one more thing on the taskbar, that's fantastic. However, it's not fantastic because I would like to have this tasks folder down here. Well, if I put it down here, and I then go to my cover display, guess what? I no longer have access to that tasks folder. It is now gone. It is now absolutely just deleted on the cover display. If I want it to be on my taskbar on the tablet, I'm going to want it to be on the taskbar on the cover display as well. This is an extremely weird decision that they've made for their launcher. Let me have all 6 on the cover display, or here's another option. Let me only have 5 on the tablet display, because you can't get rid of this last one. There's nothing you can do. You can disable the suggestion button, but then you keep 5 and they're off center. So just give me some way to make it symmetrical. Give me the same taskbar on both screens, because my OCD hurts looking at this stuff and having to have this folder up there by itself. I don't like it at all. Another potentially annoying thing is if you don't like this launcher at all and you want to just use another launcher. I think I have Niagara Launcher installed on here so I can launch it and then show you. You'll notice that you don't have access to that taskbar immediately. You have to swipe up to get to it, and that works just fine. However, if you want to change what is on that taskbar, you must go to the Pixel launcher and edit it here, and then go back to whatever third-party launcher you are using. There's no way to edit it outside of the Pixel launcher. This next one is one that is probably going to affect very few people, but it's something that I've encountered that has been kind of strange. So over the last couple of days, maybe the last week, I've been reviewing 2 different devices that use a direct Wi-Fi connection from your phone to that device. One of them is a drone, one of them is an action camera. On both accounts with the Pixel Fold, I've had some connectivity issues. With the drone, the actual application, which in this case is called FlyCam, it stays connected for very brief, random amounts of time, and the app will crash, and some of the functions just don't seem to work. And I think this is due to these Wi-Fi issues. And the reason I think this is because on the action cam, it is similarly strange. You're supposed to be able to see a live view in the app of what the action cam is seeing, and it is extremely glitchy, very low frame rate, does not work very well at all. And in fact, playback of earlier recorded videos is also very, very stuttery. Something about that Wi-Fi direct connection that seems to be giving me, at least, some issues, and that has been very annoying as I've been reviewing these devices. Another thing that's just missing that I think we should have are app pairs. The ability to take 2 different applications and pair them together so that you can click on them once and launch both of them in a split screen view automatically. The Samsung Z Fold has that, Surface Duo has that. We do not have this here. If there are an app pair that you're constantly using, like YouTube Music and Google Maps or something like that, you have to launch them one at a time every single time. There's no way to just group them and launch them as a quick shortcut. That definitely needs to be added. And last but not least, this is another really weird one to me. So let's go to the cover display. Let's take a look at this weather widget here, and we're actually going to remove it, and we're going to replace it with a different weather widget. We want this one, and the reason we want this one is because some very strange things happen. So you can see what it looks like right now. Let's just put it right here, and we'll fully, make it all the way across. Okay, so that's what it looks like. If I go to the tablet display, though, it shrinks. Why? Why did it shrink? Why did this happen? And there's no way to resize it. You can see it's the same size, but it's not the same size. It's not showing all of that content. So I would rather have this weather widget, but it acts really, really stupid. I'm quite positive that this is a bug that is probably going to get fixed, hopefully sooner than later. But for right now, that is extremely annoying. So guys, that's my list. I know some of you are going to say, what about this thing? What about that thing? What about the battery life? What about... If it's not on the list, it's not something that's bothering me. And that's as simple as that. And that doesn't mean it's not allowed to bother you. You can be bothered by things that I'm not bothered by. You can have use cases where you've encountered problems that I have simply not encountered. These are simply the things that have most irritated me. And that is absolutely subjective. So guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.